in today's conversation, we're going to be speaking to a group of illustrious speakers who are going to talk us through some of the challenges and indeed the solutions that will ensure that the world's most vulnerable, the world's poorest, are able to join in this new technologically advanced economy. And so it's really apt that we begin our conversation with two gentlemen whose commitment is towards eradicating poverty and modernizing economies in a way that really empowers all of us to participate in this new digital world. It is the president of the World Bank Group, David Malpass, joined by Sundar Pichai, who's the chief executive of Google and Alphabet.
The research shows that a correlation between growth and improvements in connectivity is huge. So if we can get more people connected, we can see countries do better. The median income can go up, and that's what it's all about. In Kenya, we've got 3/4 of the population using digital money. That's huge because it brings down the cost of transaction, come down, and people that are on the margins can get into the economy. And that's a fabulous force multiplier. Productivity that economists talk about goes up when that happens. In Nigeria, there's real-time prices for crops, and information turns out to be vitally important. And we also have the targeting of safety nets so that if money can go to people that really are in need, then it spreads throughout the economy.
And digital connectivity is just a foundation, right? And it's very important to take your population and make sure they are digitally skilled. And so digital skilling is an important next step. At Google, we've been doing a lot of initiatives. We've committed in Africa. We have trained 5 million Africans. Around the world in Latin America, we have IT certification programs. And similarly, we have programs underway in Asia as well. But I think it's really important, and there are basic skills which the population needs to transition and take advantage of that.
We need to have lots more conversations. I think there's good roles for public sector, for private sector in making this all work.
What startups do, they disrupt a certain industry that's already been there.
And it being so early still and relatively small means that there are obviously lots of opportunities for new types of businesses.
Africa skipped the landlines, right? So they went to mobile right away. We have to do the exact same thing in power, in logistics, distribution, in transportation and mobility, in access to internet and access to power.
This is a very, very exciting time, especially as mobile phone networks continue to roll out 4G technology. Essentially just opens up a very, very significant opportunity across the continent.
We're in a phase where a lot of the infrastructure is being built. I think the key, though, is to try not just to copy and paste what has worked in other regions.
Rishma Sojani is the founder of Girls Who Code. It's a nonprofit organization, and their aim is to completely close the gender gap in technology. Let's hear from her as she gives us a call to action.
I always say that the gender gap in tech, the digital divide, is a problem that we can solve in our lifetime. That's rare. And if we give girls the skills they need to code, we'll be solving more than just one problem. Because our girls won't just be coders. They'll be inventors, scientists, astronauts. They'll be surgeons, architects, legislators. They will be leaders. They will be healers. They will be revolutionaries. Together, we can bring this world to bear for our girls, our communities, and our world.
Well, it's now time for us to delve further into the topic around closing the digital divide and talking through some of the challenges that have been experienced, especially at the policymaking level.
We will use a table to promote public investment. We also, to be clear of the things that we can do as government in terms of regulation to, for example, reduce the time of approval of concessions and permits. We have decreased that with new norms about 1/3 and facilitate all the process with digitalization, and if a process is more lean and agile.
We have found a model where we are trying to make money and at the same time empowering the societies. The way they are doing this is that we see that there is a clear linkage between connectivity and economic growth. We have even made a study on that, and we saw that for every 10% you can increase mobile connectivity and data connectivity, there is a direct impact on the GDP of 1 percentage point.
Earlier on, we focused on the challenges, and we heard about a range of challenges, particularly at the regulatory level. But we were also urged to think about the solutions and getting us into a new space altogether.
Being connected is not a luxury, it's not a privilege. It's a must. If you go digital, you need to make sure that you're inclusive and you use digitization for justice as a tool for enablement, not as a tool for exclusion.
I struggle to think of what the world would look like today if services like Grab globally did not exist, because folks would not be able to eat and would not have been able to buy that all-essential toilet paper.
We have the largest number of young people anywhere in the world, and they need to be taught not what a computer is, but they need to be taught to be creators, solution creators, so that we don't just consume foreign apps and foreign content, but we rather create our own apps that will best meet our needs, and we tell our own story of all the wonderful things Africa has to offer.
We got a question from Alicia on World Bank Live, and she wants to know, how has COVID-19 affected digital startups?
Paul, if there ever was a silver lining in this crisis, I might say it's technology. If you look around the globe, COVID-19 has reinforced that tech startups have this incredible ability to change our lives. And in crises, there are opportunities to be innovative and to be creative. And we've seen it with medtech, health tech, ed tech, fintech, e-commerce platforms. Specifically, maybe 3 points in our portfolio itself. First, in the startups that we've invested in, we've seen them flourish. In India, for example, we invested in Baiju, an ed tech company, 20 million new students on their platform since the start of the crisis.
That's amazing.
And Big Basket, which is an e-commerce company, had a 900% increase in orders.
And we're seeing very interesting response. And when you look at countries like Nigeria, like Senegal, like Kenya, you see that startups are designing solutions which are very much adapted to the reality of those countries. So what will happen, most certainly, is that there will be a lot of learning for more advanced economies from the smaller economies. And that's what we are trying together to make sure that it happens.
From a group of incredible artists here on the African continent. They actually wrote a song specially for this event. It's called Stay Connected, and it encourages Africa and Africans to embrace the spirit of togetherness.
I wrote a letter the other day with a few words that I couldn't say. Yeah. It can be hard to communicate, but it is easy to demonstrate. So and I know we are from different walks of life, and we have different stories.
But one thing still remains the same.
We are one, no matter different tongues or tribes. Together we can all arise. I am for you, you for me. So let's stay connected together. Together, one forever. Africa will do better. Together, one another. That we are one, no matter different tongues or tribes. Together we can